Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another fun looking puzzle here in front of us. As you can see, this thing is called Sunflowers by Sotehr. I think it's fairly obvious what the reasoning for the title is. These are sunflowers. I love getting into these kinds of puzzles where they have nice graphics that go along with all the rule sets and the clues, and then they all work together. Just makes everything a little bit more interesting for me. Anywho, that said, let's take a look at these rules and let's get going. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. We've got German whisper lines. So digits along a green line differ by at least 5. The stems of our sunflowers are the German whisper lines. So these are German whispers. Just in case you have a color blindness, you can't see them. This is what they are. And of course, the digits on those German whispers must differ by 5. So if whatever this is, this one's 5 different, this one's 5 different than that, so on, so on, and so forth. Then we've got Dutch whispers. So that's kind of fun to have German whispers and Dutch whispers in the same puzzle. But digits along an orange line differ by at least 4. Now, the orange lines are these circular ones around both of our sunflowers. Not that one. So these are all the orange lines, and essentially, like the German whisper, whatever this one is, these two have to be 4 away from instead of 5, just slightly less restrictive. And there are only 2 other rules here, and I guess they're part of the same rule set, are Kropki dots. So black Kropki dots, digits separated by a black dot, have a 1:2 ratio. There's quite a few of those littered about, as you can see, kind of the seeds of the sunflower, and then some of these other ones off on the stems here. But essentially, these guys must be in a 1:2 ratio, so whatever this digit is, this one would be half or double of it. And then, of course, the white Kropki, digits separated by a white dot, are consecutive. We have 2 of those white dots. These 2 are consecutive, these 2 are consecutive, and that's it. So nothing crazy, nothing out there, just a fun, visually pleasing Sudoku. So let's take a jump into this thing. As always, the link is in the description below. Let's get started. So, first things first. It seems like the most obvious place to start is going to be our congregation of black Kropki dots. So we're going to be able to say a few things about this, I have to assume here. First off, we know 5s, 7s, and 9s can never go on black Kropkis because you can't double or have them. Now, the other 2 sets of digits that can go on them are, of course, 1, 2, 4, and 8, and 3 and 6. Well, the 3 and 6s clearly won't work here because if you put either one of them here, you have to start repeating digits, and that just doesn't work. So all of these are going to be from the 1, 2, 4, 8 grouping. Now, this central digit here is not going to be an extreme, because if you put a 1 here, you have to put 2s in all of these, that breaks it. If you put an 8 here, you have to put 4 in all of these, that breaks it. So we can get rid of the 1s and the 8s. Now it's going to be absolutely symmetrical over here, because it's the exact same concept. What else do we know about those? We've got groupings of 3. Okay, so we can pencil mark some further things. We know this, ignoring these for the second, the 3 in a row vertically, we know we're going to have 2s and 4s in this column, because it's either going to be a 1, 2, 4 or a 2, 4, 8. So they have to have 2s and 4s. The same is going to be across the board here. It's going to be 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. I guess that's okay. I typically don't like to mark across regions, but I think in this case it works. So we know we have the columns must have 2 4s on it, and the rows must also have 2 4s on them. Now, I don't think we can take that any further, because, again, it could be 1, 2, 4, or it could be 2, 4, 8. Opposite way, 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 8. All the possibilities are still out there. So we're probably going to have to start looking elsewhere to see what else we can do. Now, I think this grouping. Actually, this black Kropki dot will probably be more interesting because we know these are 2s and 4s. We cannot use the 1, 2, 4, 8 rule set on this one. So these just have to be a 3, 6 pair. Sorry, I need to put my phone on quiet so we don't get interrupted here. Apologies for that. Back to it. So we know this is a 3, 6 because it can't be 1, 2, it can't be 2, 4, or 4, 8. It would break this thing down here. So the question is going to be, can we determine anything from this, or do we want to look at this? Because again, I was about to say something about these. This combination of the 2 black Kropkis, one of which is also connected with a white Kropki, and which 2 of these digits are on German whispers, is probably going to have a pretty interesting relationship. And I don't think that we can do much with this right now, because, I mean, we could say, what if this is a 6? Well, this is a 1. This is going to be a high digit, low digit, high digit. If it's 3, this could be 8 or 9, which is high, then low, high, low. So I don't think we can really say a whole lot there. Let's start to look at this thing and see if we can figure out what the possibilities could be. And let's just kind of go through our options, because we're going to be able to figure out some things. Like this one cannot be a 1, because if it's a 1, these are both 2s. That breaks. If this is a 1, this would be a 2. This would have to be a 3, and you have a 1 and a 3 that are next to each other on a German whisper. That doesn't work. What if this is a 2? If this is a 2, this would be a 4. This would have to be a 3 because it can't have a 5 on a German whisper. So again, we'd have 2 low digits next to each other. This can't be 2. Can this be 2? This is 2. This would be 4, and this would have to be a 1 or a 3. Again, we're looking at 2 low digits. This is not 2. So we're starting to get these down a bit. We can probably go further, I would think. If we have 3 and 6, that doesn't work either, actually. At least not in this direction. If this is 3, this is 6, this has to be 7. Because we can't, again, put a 5 on the black Kropki. But if this is 3 and this is 7, we have not met the metal of a German whisper. 3 and 7 are not 5 apart from each other. This is not 3. What about the other way? This is 3 and this is 6. It again breaks it because this would be 6 and this would have to be 1 by German whisper. But if this is a 3, we can't get down to it. So therefore, these are a 4-8 pair. And we'll have the exact same situation happen over here, but let's finish it here first and then correlate it over. So if this is 4-8, this can't be 4-8. So we can get rid of our little 4 there, which actually means that can't be 4, so this can't be 4, because there has to be a 4 in one of these two. So we can get rid of 4s. I don't know that that's super useful at the moment, but we're just doing it. This 4-8 against this Kropki, the white Kropki, if this is a 4, again, this would have to go down to 3 because it can't be 5. And if this is an 8, it cannot be a 7 here because this 8 would be with the 4-7. 4-7 does not work, so this would have to be a 9. So this is either 3 or 9. So I think we can now correlate those over as to what these are. Again, this won't be 4 or 8. This can't be a 4. That doesn't actually work the same way as this one did. Does it? No, it does. Yeah, it does, because the 4 has to be up here now, so this one can't be 4. Okay. What else do we have? Does removing a 4 here do anything? It means this can't be a 1, right? Because if this is a 1, it would have to be 2, 4. So this is not 1. This can't be 1. But I don't think we can make any more progress there. What else do we have? We've got a 3-6 pair, and we've got 2 4s and 8s here. Now we know this is either 2 highs and a low, or 2 lows and a high. Does that do much of anything? Well, it can't be two lows. Or can it? No, it can be. It can it. Yeah, because we can have 2s and 4s here. And then 1 and 3 here. So that would work. Okay. Thought we might have had something there, but I guess not. Where does the 5 and the 7 go? Well, maybe just the 5. Because again, we can't put a 5 on a German whisper. But the 5 could go to one of these two. We can't rule out the 7. Well, actually, we can rule out a 7 from both of these as well. Because whether this is a 3 or a 6, this can't be a 7. Whether this is a 3 or a 9, this cannot be 7. So this is a 5-7 pair. Which means one of these is 9. I will mark it even though it's cross-border, because I think it'll be okay there. Do we have the same thing happening here then? Because we had symmetry. Well, we don't have symmetry, actually. I just noticed that. This stem does not extend like this one does. This is only 1, 2, 3 digits. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if this is 4 digits, we have 2 highs and 2 lows, no matter what the orientation is. Is that useful? Yeah, absolutely, because it tells us what this is, right? If we know we have 2 lows guaranteed here, and we have 2 lows guaranteed here, then we have to have it in that orientation. Now, we don't know where the lows are particularly, but it means that this can't be a low, because if it was, it would force 3 lows, and then we can only put 1 more. But that doesn't work. So this is an 8. If I can get that going, which means this is a 4, and then this has to be a 2. This is not a 4. This is not a 1. So we get a 2-8 pair going that way. And where does that take us? Because I don't think, again, we can say where the 2 highs and where the 2 lows are. Can we rule out 6s? We can definitely do it on the German whisper here. And this can't ever be a 6 either, because we can't have anything next to it on the Dutch whisper. But that just pushes 6s towards the edge. But whether or not this is the 6 or this is a 6, this one makes much more impact than this one does. Okay. No, we didn't have the same thing as over here, did we? Because again, this was not a 4-cell stem, it's just a 3-cell stem. What can we do anything we just got with this? We know, what can this be? It could be a 1, it could be an 8, it could be a 9. It cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, because those are all given. So this is either 1, 8, or 9. It can't be 8, because we have the 2 8s looking over here. So this is either 1 or 9. Did that do anything for us? I was going to look at this Dutch whisper here, but again, it can work with this. This could be 5, 9, and then come back to 4. Or it could be the 7 with the 3, and then up to the 8, and that would work with everything that's going on here. What about this digit then? Again, it could be 1, can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7. So it's 1, 8, or 9. This can't be 8. Okay, there we go. So we get the 1, 9 pair. And oops, didn't mean to hit that one. That's going to tell us everything we need to know. This is 2, This is 4. This is 8. These are not 4. That could be 2. This can't be 1. So we end up actually with the same thing going on. We just got there a different way. All right. That 8 gives us, okay, both of them. I didn't see that because I was looking around, but these are then both 8s. So we've got a bunch of 2s now. Does that do anything for us? One of these is a 2. One of these is... This might not really give us anything. The other thing would maybe to look across this line. I don't know that that does a whole lot either. The other digit we have a lot now of 8s is... Okay, we can do something with the 8. Because we can't have 8s in any of these, and there's a... There, so this is 8 here. Can we do anything back the other way? Yeah, we can. This is forced to be an 8. And none of these can be 8, so one of these is. And that's probably all we can do, yeah, because we have sets of 8s through the middle that we can't quite finalize. So what about the 4s? I don't think the 4s are going to be very... Oh, of course, I'm wrong. 4s are much better than I thought they would be. This is a 4. Does it do the same thing over here? It does. This is a 4. Now does it give us anything else? Get 4s in these guys. But nothing in the middle at the moment. Okay. Now we can probably... Well, I don't know if we can. Start thinking about our Dutch whisper. But I don't know if that's the case. So this is either 619 or 391. Again, I don't think there's anything there. All right, so what clues do we have left over? Again, we know there's 2 highs and 2 lows here. So we have to put another high on this. It can't be 8. But it could be 6 or 7, and there's places where those can go. Well, I guess 6 or 7 cannot ever go here. Because you'd have to, if it was a 6, you'd have to 1 on both sides. If you have a 7, it had to be a 1, 2, and you can't put a 2. The same goes for this. These can't be 6s or 7s. But that still leaves, like we said previously, one of these could be 6. And just by removing these as 7s, it leaves multiple options on 7s as well. Okay, I thought that might get us something, but it doesn't seem like it quite does. So we have to dig a little deeper. We have to have 2 low digits. And they have to be 1 and 3, because we already used the 2 and the 4. So let's think about that. So however we combine the 1 of 3, like this, would be a possible option. You would have to put a 9 between them. Because we can't ever put an 8 on this line. And if we have to have a 3 on it, and we can't put a 9 with that 3, it has to be a 9. So either these are lows, and this is a 9, or these are low, and this is a 9. So one of these two, nope, these two is 9. Now this pencil marking is getting a little bit out there. Therefore, what? Again, I don't think we can make the point on the 6 and 7 yet on this. Because 6 could still be out here, and the 7 could find itself on the outskirts as well. Okay. All right, let's change gears then. Let's look at this. Because we know 4, 8, 3, and 9 can never be on these. So we've got 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. Now, I have to believe that this does not count as German Whisper, so we'll leave it as such. This clearly can't be a 2. This can't be 1 because we determined there has to be a 1 on here. So there has to be a 1 and a 2 in this middle area. This cannot be, let's look at our Dutch Whisper here. This can't be 5. It can't be 6, and it can't be 7. So this just is a 1-2 pair. What about you? You can't be 5, 6, or 7 either. So this is the 1-2 pair here, which means these are not. So we have a 5, 6, 7 going on here now. Is there anything we can reduce? Is this the same thing where this can't be 6? Correct, this can't be 6. So we've got our 6 in the middle. Okay, that's something. And we have our 1, 2, 5, 7, 3 9s, and 4 8s. Now, can we go around the block with our Dutch Whispers and start working out some things? Because we either have a 1 or a 2. But there really are a lot of options this could be, isn't there? Because these could be from 5, not 6 obviously, 7, 8, or 9. So can these. And that, is it going to turn the corner and cause issues with anything else? Let's look at the options, see what happens. If this is a 5, this could still be a 1 or a 9. Now, if it's a 7, it has to be a 1 or a 2. It can't, or a 3. It can't be a 2, obviously. If it's an 8, it could be 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it can't be 2 or 4, so it's 1 or 3. And if it's a 9, again, it could be 1, 3, or 5. And that's going to be the exact same thing here. I don't think this is getting me anywhere because we've got too many options on the board. What if we try going around the other side and see what happens? This is a 4. We can go up to a 9. Can't do 8. And we can't go down to a 0. This is an 8. We could go down to a 4. Obviously, we can't use a 4, but we could get a 1 or a 3. 1, 3, almost have a quad to work with, but not quite. Now, the same is going to be true here, 1, 3, and 9. Okay. All right, where is this little in that I need to find? I thought we were moving pretty good here, but I'm not seeing the next step on the way, unless we can pull something off of our 5, 7. So let's see how that interacts. Again, if it's a 5, it could be a 1 or a 9. If it's a 7, it can only be a 1 or a 3. Yeah, so it's the exact same thing, actually, that we got over here, off of the 5 or the 7. This can't be a 4, so we can remove that as a possibility. The problem is this one also could be a 2. because we don't have this regulating it. Do we need to really go in to just see what these really can be? Let's give it a go, because I'm not quite seeing what's next. So we've got 1, 3, 9. These two can't be 9, so let's pull those off. We also have the 6 and the 7. We obviously can't put a 5 on here. These can't be 6s. We said this can't be 7 or 6. Can this be a 7? No, because it'd be flanked by a 1 and a 3. Can this be a 7? Wait, did I just determine this has to be a low digit? How did I do that? Let's go back to the start and make sure we didn't screw that up. What can this be? Cannot, well, it could be 1, can be 3, can't be 5, could be 6, could be 7, and I think we said it couldn't be 9 because we had to be able to get the 1s and the 3s to work with the 9. Let me make sure that's correct before I move forward with this, because if I prove this is a low digit, we've just broken this open. Can this be 9? If this is 9, this is 3. This would have to be a 1 or a 3. If we remove the options of 6s from these and 7s from these, we would know that if this is 9, this is a 1 or a 3. This would have to be a 7, which... No, we said if this is 9, this is 1. These are 1 and 3, so this can't be 7. Yeah, this cannot be 9. Okay, that's what it was. I just wanted to prove that before I started going forward. If this is low, this is high, and we've just broken this open. So let's do it. And 8. Oh, nope, did it backwards. 4. I did the other one backwards too. I'm being stupid. This is 9. Let's look at our puzzle clues here properly. 4. This has to be 3. This has to be 4. This has to be 8. We got there eventually. So now this is low. This has to be high. Cannot be 1 or 3. It cannot be the 7 because this is going to be a 1-3 pair. So this is 9. This is not 9. It's not 7. Let's get rid of all this rigmarole we do not need. This is not 1 or 3. Therefore, it is either 6 or 7. And this would be a 5, 6, or 7 possibility. Now that we have the 9 and some of these other digits going on here, we can say this is a 3, so this is 9. This is 1. This is 6. This is 3. The 1 is being removed from all of these. If this is a 4, it cannot be next to a 3, so it's a 9. This is not. This 9 cannot be next to a 7. It has to be next to a 5, so it has to be next to a 1, which has to be next to a 2, 7. And the 1 now could go back and be next to anything. The 2 cannot go by the 5, though. So this is ending up being a high digit again. This 8 can't be next to a 9. This can't be a 3. This is 5 if I finish my Sudoku. This can't be 5. If this is a 5, this can still be 1 or 9, but this also has to be a 1 or 9. So we get a 1-9 pair, because you always have to flank your 5s on a Dutch whisper by a 1 and a 9. Okay. Now, if this is a 1 or a 3, let's take a look at these options, or we can get rid of 9 here, actually. But let's go back and look at these options. So, if it's a 1, it can't be 5 because we already used it, so it has to be a high digit, 6, 7, or 9. If it's a 3, again, it has to be a high digit, and it would have to be 7 or 9. So these are the only options. Therefore, this can't be 9. It must be 1. This must be 9. This is going to go... Well, this is high, but it can go down to either one. Well, this, let's be obvious here. This is 3 because that's a 1. Therefore, this can't be 6. This can't be 3. Can this be a 5? It still can, because this could be 1 and this could be 9, which is kind of interesting how that could work out. But let's look again at what these options can be. If this is a 9, this could be essentially anything from 5 or below. Well, it can't be 4 because we have that there, but those are our options. Is there anything easier that I'm not looking at here at the moment? Let's see. No, because the 1 could go in almost anything. We still have to put the 5 in it, which can go in a bunch of places. 6s and 7s, and those all have options as well. Okay, this is not 8. We said one of these two had to be 8, so that is. Get rid of those. Now, if this is 8, this cannot be 5, so it has to be 3. This can't be 3 anymore. Let's continue around this sunflower and see what comes out of it. We could have said this wasn't a 4 because of the 6, 7 once we got to that point. What can this be? It has to be from 7, 8, or 9, and it can't be an 8, so it's 7 or 9. We get a 7, 9 pair. Make sure that's all accurate. It is. We have 1, 2, 5, and 4 that have to go into these. This can only be 2 or 4 because we have 1, 5. This could be anything, so I don't want to go crazy on the markings. So let's go back to our sunflower. If this is a 9, we cannot go to 5 because of this 6, 7. Let's look from the 6, 7 side. That's probably easier to work with. This could be 1. Well, it can't be 1 because there's 1 there. It could be 2, and it could be... Well, it can't be 3 because there's 3 here, so I think this can only be 2. Yeah, because we can't go any higher than 3 to work with the 6 or so. So this is 2, which means this is 2. Okay. It's taking a little bit of work on this one, but we're getting there. Let's continue along the path. Again, this has to be a low number. Can't be any higher than 3. We can't use 2 or 3, so therefore it is 1. This has to be somewhere between 5, can't be 6. It just has to be 5, sorry, because we go from 1 to something back up to 9, so this is 5. All right, now we've got a bunch of digits in here. I think we've got all of our options kind of figured out, so we can probably jump into Sudoku and try to cut out what's left over. We can. This is 1. This is 1. Let's move on to 2s then. Just see an X-wing left over there. How about the 3s? Yes, we can put a 3 here. Anything else we can do with them? Doesn't look like it, because one of these is a 3 and one of these is a 3. Let's go to 4s. Nothing on 4. How about 5s? Okay, we can put 5s. That'll give us a 1, which means this is not a 1. If this is a 1, that forces this to be a 5. Okay, so we can continue with our 5s, maybe. One of these two is a 5, which means one of these two is a 5. Not great. What about these two digits? They're the only ones left in this region. They are 5 and 6. And it's going to tell us what these could be. We've got 7 and 9. And we do have a 9 up here, so let's put those in. 7 and 9. That's going to tell us this is 7. That works between the 1 and the 3. Good. These two digits we have left over now. They are from 5 and 9. Again, this can't be 9, so this is 5. This is 9. This is just a given digit of 6. These are a 7-9 pair, which means this is what, a 4-5 pair, and we have a 5, so we can put that in. 4, 5, that gives us the 2 down here. This is the 4, this is the 2. Get rid of all that. Okay, again, we're just wrapping up our Sudoku now. This is a given 6, that forces 7 and 6. This, no, it doesn't. Well, yeah, it does. This has to be a 1. It had to be a 1 the second we said this was 6 or 7. So this is 1. This is 3. I could have picked that up earlier, but it didn't really do much for us. We're going to get to it anyway. This has to be 3. We get a doot down there. This is, if it were clear, I can't see. This is 6. This is 7. These two have to be from 3 and something. 3 and 6 it appears, so this is 3 and this is 6. That 7 here sees the 9 and the 7 and the 9. This has to be 7. This is just a given, what, 1. These two have to be from 6 and 7. Don't quite have a corollary there. These two, what are they? They have to be from 3 and 5, and we can make that work. That's 5, that's 3. That will then break all this up. This has to be 7 and 6, and then we can figure out what these last two digits are. This is a 7, and therefore this has to be a 4. And there we go, you solved it. Solution is correct. I got caught there for a little while. I got moving pretty well in the kind of the crossings and then how the stems work, but I think I kind of lost my way there for a few minutes, but either way, it's still not a bad little solve. Excellent puzzle again. Again, love when setters put in graphics like this to make the puzzles pop a little bit more visually. Great puzzle by Sotehr. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.